At it again, and we have one here with Judge Joe Brown. Now, we recently checked out one with Judge Joe Brown, speaking about Uncle Trump and how he felt that Trump wasn't, no good, very bad man as what the media would like us to think. And he was talking about his experience with Trump and what he's seen and heard about him and everything like that. Well, we've got another topic of discussion that was more recently being talked about a lot. But before we hop into it, make sure you guys hit that like button. And if you are not subscribed to the channel already, hit that subscribe button down below and join the family. And make sure you guys are following me on social media. All of those links are down below in the description box. Instagram, Twitter, Truth Social, Discord server, all of that good stuff is down below. And with that being said, let's dive in.
Brittany Griner, real quick before we go.
By the way, I guess I should, for those that don't know, which I'm sure most of you do, but just so everybody's on the same page, Brittany Griner was or is, I guess I shouldn't say was because she's still alive, at least as far as we know. Brittany Griner is an American WNBA player, so she plays in the women's NBA. Well, a lot of women and even some men, not NBA players, but professional basketball players on like a smaller level, go overseas to play basketball. Well, Brittany Griner was one of those individuals. More recently, she went to Russia and was caught with something that Russia deemed illegal. So she was arrested and had a whole trial, had to go to court and all of that good stuff, and was convicted of what she was charged with and was sentenced to 9 years. Yeah, listen, for the charge that she had, which was like, she had brought like those vape cartridges that way too many people be smoking these days. Well, she had like a marijuana one in her luggage, and they don't allow that in Russia whatsoever. So, yeah, she was sentenced to 9 years. Obviously, from an American perspective, that's a bit harsh. But, hey, the rules are the rules. So, just so everybody's on the same page, now you guys can understand a little bit more about what happened with Brittany Griner. And, yeah, she's currently serving her 9-year sentence as we speak. But let's continue on.
WNBA star Brittany Griner transferred to a Russian forced labor camp.
Rough.
Oh, so what happened to the Biden administration supposed to be making a swamp deal? What happened with that? They don't even talk about Brittany Griner no more.
Hey, I guarantee you, as soon as Uncle Trump come back, though, he gonna get it straight. He gonna get it straight. Now, do I necessarily agree with it? No. Yes. Yes and no. I'm kind of conflicted, if I'm completely honest. Because obviously I'm thinking about it from an American's perspective. And she was very unappreciative when she did live here. She was one of those types that did kneel for the flag and all of that good stuff. But at the same time, I do kind of feel it's just the heart in me. You know what I mean? Like I got a soft heart. You know what I mean? I got a big heart. I do feel bad. There's still a part of me that's like, yeah, I do still feel bad for her, So I definitely think if Uncle Trump was in office, she would have been back already. She would have been back. But that's just my humble opinion. Y'all can let me know how y'all feel about it.
Let me say something about this whole case that offends me and the American approach to it. This woman was in another country. She should have respected their laws. You don't bring cannabis oil through checkpoints at somebody else's airport, not as they tried to put it out initially as one e-cigarette worth, but several canisters. That's a no-no. Next thing is, as a former criminal court judge, a retired judge, this bothers me that there is a presumption that somebody can fix a case for you so you do not get treated like everybody else. I find that offensive. And I see too much of it on the local, state, and national level these days. There is an inherent presumption that somehow somebody from the United States should intervene and fix this case for her so she does not get treated like everybody else in Russia does when they get a case because she's somehow special.
Right. Yeah. And where is the LGBT?
I definitely understand his point of view. And like I said, it's just my heart, you know? It's a good thing and a bad thing at times, right? I can admit that, and I'm definitely aware of that. If I were president, I would definitely be conflicted because, like I said, I acknowledged this earlier. Like, you did break their laws. Like, you broke their laws. That is a fact. That is what we know. It's just that but comes in there for me, you know? The but. It's just like, 9 years, though? I think all of us can agree 9 years is a bit steep, you know? Regardless of, yes, she broke the law in another country. We all understand that. And she should be punished. But 9 years? If they even said like 2 years, I'd just be like, yeah, cool, serve your 2 years, you know? It is what it is. But it's just like 9. I don't know. Maybe I'm a flawed human for that. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about it in the comment section, please. Talk to me.
QAI community protesting this in our media. Where is the Biden administration? What happened to that swap? So, you know, I'm just like, listen, she shouldn't have bought that thing over there. She being transferred to a hard labor camp. And it is what it is.
Well, that's how she was earning her living. I thought basketball was strenuous labor, but maybe not. And the other point, it isn't like she was just a casual visitor. How many years has she been coming over there to play basketball, getting more from the Russians than she gets from the WNBA?
Yeah.
Whoa.
So, you know, it says Brittany Griner has been moved to a Russian forced labor camp nearly 9 months after the basketball player was arrested in Russia for allegedly possessing cannabis oil. The development is the latest update after Griner's appeal of her 9-year sentence was denied by the Russian court last month. White House released a statement earlier Wednesday morning condemning the move. Every minute that Brittany Griner must endure wrongful detention in Russia is a minute too long. Secretary of State Karine Jean-Pierre.
That's false. She's not wrongfully detained. She's not wrongfully detained, and this administration is an absolute joke. It's absolute joke. She's not wrongfully detained. We can all, except for I guess apparently leftists, can admit that. My only thing, once again, was just the 9 years. I just felt like that was steep. I mean, heck, I think if they even would have given her 3 years, I just would have been like, hey, serve your 3 years. Yeah, that's borderline steep as well, but you did the crime, now you got to do the time, you know? But like I said, y'all talk to me in the comment section.
As the administration continues to work tirelessly to secure her release, the president has directed the administration to prevail on her Russian captors to improve her treatment and conditions she may be forced to endure in a penal colony.
Favoritism, that assumption that you can fix a case, that's what that is. And by the way, what about American soldiers, Marines, American volunteers over in Ukraine that are held in prisoner of war camps, espionage and intelligence activists and agents that are being held?
Great point.
I think since they were actually doing something for the country that all of us benefited from, or at least did something more than just try to go in there and get cannabis oil, which is not really what it was. The correct term is hashish oil, which is much more potent than just smoking some reefer. I mean, that is what you reserve these special things on. A prisoner trade, you trade spies, you trade agents, you trade soldiers. You don't get a pampered queen on a basketball court who brings in heavyweight drugs. And see, when you refine that stuff, you get hashish.
He's got a point. He's definitely changing my mind just a little bit. I definitely could agree with that. spies and people up in the intelligence community that were captured should be of the highest priority. And if we do have any captured overseas anywhere, that should be first priority. She should not be first priority. Now, obviously, that's not something that I've been diving into, but maybe we should dive into that together. Yeah, I can agree with that. People in the intelligence community, people that we've actually benefited from, should be of top priority before we even think about rescuing or helping out Brittney in any way, shape, or form. I agree with that statement.
Which is much more potent than this smoking some herb. Now, that's what you're dealing with, and it's this favoritism that has poisoned our whole system. It's not good.
Well said.
So, big shout out to the real Dana or Donna. Original link is going to be down below for that video clip there. Like I said, you guys can find the link to this video in her YouTube channel in the description box below. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I definitely agree with Judge Joe Brown. And he did change my mind a bit, and I don't know how many spies we have captured or military personnel, people that actually have helped this country captured overseas. If anybody knows, please let me know in the comment section. But whatever number that is, and hopefully it's not a huge number of any sort, but whatever number that is, they should all be brought back home first before Brittney Griner is even a thought. And that's my mistake for not even really thinking about that aspect of things. That was just something that never even crossed my mind. People in the intelligence community that have been captured, overseas. But once he said it, I was just like, yeah, like, of course, that's common sense. Yeah, she's just a basketball player, like, we should be helping out the people that helped us first. That's what makes sense. But of course, common sense is no longer common. And of course, with this administration, they have to virtue signal, oh, she's wrongfully detained and blah, blah, blah. Like, yeah, BS. She's not wrongfully detained. My only issue was just the length of the sentence. That was all. She should be punished. She broke their laws. She knew their laws. That wasn't the first time she had been there. If I remember correctly, she had been going there quite often. I think her schedule was just like, she goes and plays in the WNBA here in America, and then once the WNBA season is over, she goes overseas and plays in Russia to, make some extra cash, because obviously the WNBA, I mean, don't get me wrong, they make good money. Let's not get it twisted. I want to say they make up to like $200,000. But, in comparison to like NBA, I mean, it's like this. And rightfully so. They don't generate the revenue. So a lot of those chicks go overseas to, collect some extra cash. And Brittney Griner, from my understanding, had been going over to Russia quite often. So, like, you knew the law. I think the problem, or I think the thing that happened was that she got comfortable going over there so often. And, used to, just going straight through whatever check-in she had to go through, and them not really checking too deeply, into her bags and things maybe. And she thought that she could slip it through. I feel comfortable. I've heard about some other people getting it through here. I've never seen them really check my bags too deeply. You know what? I'm going to toss it in there. I'll be good. And she wasn't. That's what I think that happened personally. But how do y'all feel about it? Let me know in the comment section below. Like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.